So once we started walking every day, when I was seeing all that weight just drop, it's sweetened with stevia. Swear by these. That's how I've been able to not drink soda for over a year. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Taylor and today I'm going to be sharing my weight loss journey, tell you guys how I lost 25 pounds in about 5 months just from walking. A little backstory, I have a pretty athletic background, even going way back to my childhood. My dad, he was pretty much like a coach to us, and we would play like lots of different sports. Like he would teach us how to play basketball, football, we would bike, we played tennis, golf, even starting from, you know, before I was even 10, I had a very high interest in athletics. So fast forward to middle school, I was homeschooled from 2nd grade all the way till 10th grade. So I was homeschooled for about 8 years. So since I was homeschooled, we did not have access to team sports. So we would have to pretty much do whatever sport we're interested in on our own. We did have rec department sports like cheerleading, football, soccer, things like that. And I did cheer for like a couple years or so. Fast forward to when I was in 8th grade, my violin teacher, she was also a swim instructor because she had a pool at her house. My mom got us in classes with her, and that's when we officially learned how to swim. We pretty much like knew like the basics. It really helped us like put it together. Once we pretty much like graduated from swimming lessons, she told us about a swim team that they had at our college that was pretty much like a swim club. You could just sign up and have the opportunity to compete in different swim meets. So that's what we did. All my siblings started, but I was the only one who really stuck with it. I ended up doing that for like 5.5 years. So when I was on the swim team, we would swim year round, like 5 to 6 days a week. And then we would sometimes have swim meets. So sometimes we'd swim 7 days a week. When I was in high school, I was also doing volleyball during volleyball season while swimming. I was doing track along with swimming. So I was doing 2 different workouts, 2 different sports every day. It was quite exhausting, but I was super fit. So I really loved it. Fast forward, I get married, get pregnant. When I was pregnant, I gained 60 pounds because I was like nauseous every single day, all day. It wasn't just morning sickness. I didn't feel like I had to like throw up. It was more so like I just had like a queasy stomach, like how you feel when you get hungry or something. So it just felt better for me to just have something on my stomach all day. So I was just like snacking on something. It wasn't until the 3rd trimester when pretty much my nausea went away, because one day I just woke up and my nausea was just done. That's when I realized that I could have just been like chewing gum to keep my stomach settled. So that probably would have saved me around 15 pounds, 15, 20 pounds. When I was pregnant, I found out that my husband had to deploy that next year. He ended up deploying when our daughter was 6 months old. So before he deployed, we had like 6 months together as a family, and we were just trying to adjust to being new parents and just soak up the time that we had together before he had to leave for 9 months. We were just soaking up the time that we had together as a family. We were just eating out. We were drinking sodas. Like we would buy a big case and we would split it in half. So I was drinking like a can of soda like every day or every other day with like dinner. It was terrible. Needless to say, I did not lose any weight other than the initial like baby weight, like extra fluid, extra blood. I was not very motivated to work out postpartum because I was still just trying to adjust to being a first-time mom. And I did not really have the help outside of like my husband. And you know, we were both trying to learn because my parents live halfway across the country. So it's not like, you know, I could just call my mom to come over and help me, like just give me a break, things like that. I did maybe like a handful of workouts after I gave birth. So within that like first 6 months postpartum, I really barely worked out. I mean, we would go on family walks, but that would not be every single day because I couldn't work out while she was taking a nap because she contact napped. So I literally would have to sit still or just hold her while she was napping multiple times a day. So I could not just have the freedom to just get up and work out. I did try a few times to lay her down to do a little workout. Other than that, I didn't really do much. I was just eating a lot, not even caring about how much I ate, what I ate. I'm just going to enjoy life and just not even worry. I was also breastfeeding, so I just accepted that until I stopped breastfeeding, I wasn't going to be able to lose weight easily. But honestly, in my case, that wasn't true. So fast forward forward to when he got deployed. I moved home to go and live with my parents, which turned out being 5 months. Thanksgiving Day, I weighed 207 pounds. And after I gave birth to her, when I went to it was 8 weeks, I believe, when I went to the doctor again, and I was 204. So I was 3 pounds heavier than my first 2 months postpartum. So that was a little depressing there. I mean, I wasn't doing anything to actually lose anything, so I wasn't really surprised, but it did suck. When I got there, I wasn't really doing anything significant. One thing that obviously changed right away is that I was not eating out that often anymore. I don't even remember when the first time I actually ate out after I moved back home, because, you know, my parents, they only eat out so often. Well, my family, they only eat out so often, and whenever we would eat out, it would just be like pizza, so it wouldn't really be anything too crazy. And also, I stopped drinking sodas because they don't buy sodas, you know, and drink them like that. So I wasn't drinking sodas. And so yeah, I was pretty much just drinking water all the time, which is what I normally drink, until, you know, my husband, he doesn't really like water that much, so he likes anything that's not water. So that's how I got negatively influenced to drink sodas when he was at home. So after he deployed, I made a goal to myself to not drink sodas the whole time he was deployed, which was 9 months. I have not drank a soda since October 2021, and it's February 2023. So I'm proud of myself for not doing that. These are the 0-calorie sodas we drink. These are them. Literally, it's sweetened with stevia. It doesn't have anything but carbonated water, stevia leaf extract, tartaric acid, I don't know, and then natural flavor. And then this one has caffeine because it's a Dr. Stevia, which is like Dr. Pepper. All zero sugar, calories, zero everything. Definitely try them out. They have different flavors. Look them up. I swear by these. That's how I've been able to not drink soda for over a year. That was one of the main things that I changed. I stopped eating out just because that's just how my life was going. It's very understandable if you eat out more or less. When I moved back home, I was just naturally being more active, because after I had my daughter, I was not moving hardly. I mean, I would get up and cook and clean, but it really, like, other than that, I was just sitting down on the couch all day, and that was just not good. When I moved back home, I was walking from one side of the house to the other all day long, because my parents' house, it's pretty big, so the bedrooms are on one side and like the living area, and the kitchen is on the other side. So I was pretty much walking back and forth all day. My daughter was playing in the playroom, and I would just follow her around the house, because of course she would be curious and interested in anything and everybody who was there. Naturally, I was just being more active. Fast forward to January, I believe, January or February, I really started to see a difference in my weight. I saw that I was losing some weight. I wasn't trying to at that point. My activity level had picked up, so naturally I just started losing more weight because I wasn't eating as much as I was before. So yeah, that's around the time I started noticing that I was losing some weight. All the while I was weighing myself to see if I was losing any weight, and I was. My first goal was to get under 200, and I used to have a really unhealthy relationship with scale. Like, I used to let it define me pretty much, because when I was younger, I would always feel like I was chubby and I was not as skinny as my sister and my cousin, who was like another sister to me. I used to struggle with accepting my weight and accepting my body from when I was like not even 10. I had to be like 6 or 7. That's really sad to say, but it's so true. When I was like a teenager, I would struggle with weighing myself because I could fit my sister's clothes, they could fit my clothes. They were pretty much like the same size, but I did not look like them. I was weighing in like 5 or 10 pounds heavier, and I could not see why or how, and it would just crush me, and I did not know really how to deal with that. I later came to terms that it was because I was just more muscular and they just were slender. Everybody would always tell me like, oh, you're not fat, you're literally just like muscular, you're thick, whatever, but I just could not see it. I really had like really bad body dysmorphia. I have always been trying to lose weight ever since I was freaking like 7 or 8. Like, it's so sad. I wouldn't do anything drastic. I would just work out. That would be my thing. I would just try to work out. For for years I stopped weighing myself unless I went to the doctor. We didn't own a scale at all until the middle of last year because I didn't like weighing myself. Over that course of 5 months, I healed my relationship with the scale, and I was coming to terms with how the weight would fluctuate, but that is no reflection on like who I am as a person. That's literally natural. I was able to get over that fear of the scale, stop letting that number define me. When I moved back, I was able to buy a scale and weigh myself and be okay with the number that I saw. My daughter used to wake up like every hour or two at night. I was waking up like 8 to 10 times a night sometimes because she would wake up so often, and I would have to put her back to sleep because it was just me because my husband was deployed. So I was not getting good sleep at all. I feel like if I did get better sleep, I would have been able to lose the weight faster, but that's whatever. I can't, you know, control that. Like a few months after I moved back and my daughter like got comfortable with staying extended periods of time with my family or whatever, I was able to like sneak off and go to the gym whenever I like felt like it. It wasn't consistent enough for it to actually make a difference, but it was still playing a part into like me trying to become more active and get my body back moving. By the time I moved back into my house, I had lost 20 pounds. December 25th on Christmas Day, I don't know exactly what my weight was, but I just knew that was the weight I weighed in at the month prior. Now when I actually started tracking it and keeping up with it, I was 202 on January the 19th. So I had lost 5 pounds in a month, not even doing anything. That was just me making the changes that I had made and just moving my body more every day. Next weigh-in was January 24th and I was 196. So I had lost 5 more pounds. February 1st, I was still 196. February the 3rd, 194. March 15th, 193. So the weight loss had slowed down some after I got under 200, but I was still losing some. So I guess I was weighing myself like every week to every other week. March 31st, 191. April 21st, I was 190. April 22nd, 189. April 27th, 188. April 29th, 186. In that 4-month span, I had gone from 207 to 188. So I had lost about 20 pounds. Fast forward to June. So June 11th, I weighed in at 187. June 14th, 185. June 16th, 184. June 25th, 183. And June 26th, 182. July 10th, I was 181. July 18th, 180. August 15th, 178. And that's where the weigh-ins stopped. But I do know that a couple of weeks later or somewhere around that time, I was 174, and that was the lowest I had been because I was like so close to like my weight loss goal of 170 or something like that. And after I moved back, the weather had warmed up. My friend who lives like 2 blocks over, her daughter is like a month younger than mine, so we were in the same boat with trying to lose the baby weight. We both were still breastfeeding. I breastfed until my daughter was 15 months. So all the while when I was losing this weight, I was still breastfeeding. But don't think that you can't lose weight while you're breastfeeding, because you can. Me and my friend would walk every single day, like a mile to 2 miles. We would walk anywhere from like 20 to 45 minutes, almost an hour sometimes, because we would just walk around the neighborhood and just talk and talk and talk. So once we started walking every day, when I was seeing all that weight just drop, I was still waking up like every 2 to 3 hours. So I still wasn't sleeping good. I was still breastfeeding. Since my husband was still deployed, I had to, you know, keep up with the house and the yard and stuff. So I would mow the lawn, I would wash my car, I would shampoo the carpets, and then sometimes I had to do this stuff while carrying my daughter in a carrier, and she was like 20 pounds. And I was doing all that on top of walking, so I was getting a really good workout in every single day just from doing all this stuff. So it's not just walking, but it's like other things, like, you know, vacuuming your house, washing your car, cutting the grass, all those things that you're just up and moving for an extended period of time. Those are things that you can do to really help you lose weight. One thing I was doing was I was trying to stay in a calorie deficit. I know everybody says that and it always sounds so big and scary, but it's not. It's the truth. It's how you lose weight. It's just how your body works. To be in a calorie deficit, you do not have to sit and count every single calorie that you consume. You just have to be mindful of what you eat. Don't make yourself too much food so that you won't feel obligated to have to eat it all just because you see that it's there. You can meal prep, that's just not for me. I would make dinner, and based off the portions, I would know that that would last me, you know, 2 days, 3 days, something like that. For like breakfast and lunch, I just would just be mindful of what I ate and don't just eat huge, almost 1,000-calorie meals every time I ate. Pretty much just try to save my big meal before dinner. It did take me a while to, you know, work my way to having like a healthy relationship with food, because I do struggle with binging sometimes. Still do. No, that's just something that I don't know, you just can't stay down after you binge. You have to get back on track pretty much, and it's much easier said than done, because after you binge, it's so discouraging. You feel like all your progress is lost, but it's not. Get back up and keep going. My goal when my husband was deployed, once I saw that I was losing weight pretty consistently, I wanted to be able to fit into my ripped jeans. By the time he got back, I wanted to wear a pair of ripped jeans to his homecoming ceremony, and I did reach that goal. That felt really good. That was one motivation that I had. I knew he had a certain amount of time before he came home, and so I was just like trying to stay motivated, trying to stay at it, and you know, lose the weight. So I would say that the main takeaway would be to just get up and move your body for like 20 to 30 minutes a day. And I know that's what everybody says, that's what your doctor says. Well, maybe not, but that's what they should say, because that makes the biggest difference. It really does. Try to cut out liquid calories. Swap your sodas for Zevias. Look them up. I swear by these. That's how I've been able to not drink soda for over a year. I really hope that I was able to cover everything in a way that makes sense, but I think that was it. So yeah, I just want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you stayed to the end. I know this is probably going to be a long video. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to how I lost 25 pounds in 5 months. I will see you guys in my next video.